Hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here and we're meeting for the first time today. I hope you're all okay. So you may notice, if you saw my last video, you may notice that something behind me is missing. My mirror has fallen down the back of my bed. It was only hanging up with like a little command hook, so I shouldn't really be surprised, but it's going to look a bit boring just for today until I sort that. So I'm back with another video today. I wanted to do kind of like a recap on how I found my first trimester. I am pregnant with my first child. I've kind of wanted to film some videos and keep like some documentation of how this experience has been for me. I'd really like to look back on it one day, and if anybody else wants to join me on this journey, or if you enjoy these videos, that's brilliant. So I want to talk today about what some of my main symptoms have been, some of my cravings, like any changes with my physical appearance, and I also want to talk about like just overall general mental health thoughts, feelings and emotions around having baby. So stick around if you think that's something you might enjoy or be interested in. So throughout my pregnancy, so I picked up one of these bump to birth journals. So it's been really fun to fill this out and just kind of keep track of everything. It's a really good kind of place to keep everything all together. So you can write down when your appointments are, you can put down contact numbers for like your midwife and your hospital. And I'll see if I can show you a page that I've filled out, just to show you an example. These ones look boring. I'll do this one, yeah. So basically, like week by week, it tells you what to expect in terms of how your body's changing and what baby's doing inside you. So this is a page that I filled out. So you can kind of keep track of your cravings, your mood, your energy levels, and like what date it is, and anything else that you want to make a note of. So I'm going to start by kind of talking about what my main symptoms were, and I'm going to try and do my best to keep this like in chronological order as best as I can. So the first symptoms that I noticed, and this is before I even did a pregnancy test, before I even knew that I was pregnant, I had stomach cramps, like what feels like period pains. I had tender breasts. I was really tired. I experienced a bit of fatigue, and headaches. Headaches were really bad. Like paracetamol didn't even help, and when you're pregnant you literally can't take anything but paracetamol, so that was difficult to endure. And the headaches, I'd say out of all the symptoms I've had, the headaches like lasted the most amount of time as well. I also had really bad nausea, so trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about sickness and being sick. So in my first trimester I was really lucky. I wasn't sick once. I was really lucky, but that does not mean that I did not have really bad nausea. And from the minute I woke up in the morning to the minute I go to bed at night, I felt sick, and it really affected my appetite. Something that I found that really helped me, I would, give advice to any of you guys who are also on this journey, eat little and often. Don't put pressure on yourself to have a big breakfast and a really decent lunch and a really decent dinner and snacks. Just don't put that pressure on yourself. Try and eat intuitively, eat when you feel like you can manage it, and eat what you want to eat. It doesn't matter if it's not like a breakfast food or that's not dinner. Just eat what you can manage. And when I started to do that, I felt so much better. That really helped me. Also, this is going to be like so TMI, but I think it'll be quite a funny story time. So I had really bad constipation, it like really early on, like I'd say the first like the first 10 weeks. I had really bad constipation. I had really bad stomach pains. Like the stomach pains were really, really severe. Paracetamol didn't help. And there was like one time I remember, it was so bad. I was actually like rolling around on the floor in pain. And I even thought to myself, and I'm really glad that I'm here to capture this on camera, I remember thinking, there is no way that going into labour or giving birth can be more painful than this. I've got that on camera, I've got that on record. I said, yeah, there's no way, this is absolutely awful, I've never experienced any pain like it. And I was actually really, really worried about what this meant for the pregnancy and what this meant for me and baby. And I was worried that it could be an ectopic pregnancy, just because of what I was experiencing in my body. So I called my GP, we arranged like a out of hours doctor's appointment at night time. Me and my partner raced down there, and just because of how worried we were, we did like both just kind of give our parents and some family members the heads up that we were a bit worried, that I was in quite a lot of pain and that we were going to the doctor, and that's all we really said. So saw the GP, and she kind of asked me a few questions, checked some things out with me, and seemed like everything was okay. She had me lay down on the bed and she felt around in my stomach, and she basically just said to me, I think you need a really good poo. So that was fun when we had to kind of call everyone back and tell them that actually everything is fine, I just can't poo. We can kind of laugh about it now, but I was really seriously like quite worried. That was not nice. So yeah, I think that's it for my symptoms. Oh, something else that's really strange, it's kind of like settled down a bit now, but I'd say like a good half of my pregnancy so far, I'm 26 weeks now, I've been so thirsty, like to the point where it's actually weird. Like usually I'm not a thirsty person, like I'll literally go a whole day without drinking anything and being like, oh, I should probably drink something now. But yeah, I've just been really, really thirsty. So I ended up buying like one of those, you know, like those massive like gallon water bottles. If any of you are pregnant, I really recommend you get one and keep it with you all the time. Yeah, that's not something that I knew or expected was going to happen. So that's it for my symptoms. So for my cravings, I haven't really had like cravings as such. It's just that the food aversions were so severe that it left me with a very small amount of food left that I could tolerate. So again, I was suffering for like really bad nausea. So what I did eat was a lot of cold raw fruit and veg. So a lot of carrot sticks with hummus, like strawberries, grapes. Oh, and something that I have every single day, even now I have this every day, is watermelon and mango, because I just can't get enough of it. And if I haven't had it, I feel like there's seriously something wrong, like I feel ill if I don't have it. And it's just delicious. So a really expensive craving to have as well, by the way, fresh fruit and veg, really expensive. And yeah, so basically anything like hot or like cooked, like a big cooked meal, like a dinner, ooh, no thank you. Like the thought of it just really, really put me off. I really didn't want it. So that's what I ate. And then on like more of a serious note, so we'll talk a bit about like overall mental health and thoughts, feelings, emotions about having baby. So I think this is like totally normal and literally what I expected to happen anyway, but I just felt very anxious and worried, because typically you would have your first scan when you're around about 12 weeks, and at the scan they confirm that the pregnancy is in your womb and not anywhere where it shouldn't be, where it's not possible for the pregnancy to progress, and you know, just make sure that your baby's growing okay and everything like that. So 12 weeks, by the way, is a really long time to wait to know if things are okay and if you're even pregnant. I think a lot of women typically choose not to really share their news with anybody. At least maybe they'll share with like close friends and family that they're pregnant, but I think a lot of us have fear of like telling people too soon, just in case you then end up having to tell everybody actually no. So I find that really hard, and I wish that there could be some kind of a way that you could kind of like have confirmation sooner than 12 weeks. I mean, I know there's the option to have maybe like an 8-week scan if you wanted to go privately, but that's not really something that everybody can access. So that was really hard. And even when is it you have your first midwife appointment, like you're booking an appointment, I feel like it might be 8 weeks or something. But even 8 weeks is a long time to hold in all of that anxiety. So that's really hard. I consider myself to be like quite a normally mentally well person. Don't get me wrong, that hasn't always been the case. I've been on medication to help with my mental health for many years, but also since being on medication, my mental health is pretty good. It's fine, it's managed. I don't have any concerns and haven't done for years and years. But the minute I saw that pregnancy test and became pregnant, that has just completely flipped, and I have had some really low moments, and my mental health has been a bit of a struggle, I can't lie. I think a lot of it is to do with, you know, the fact that you're going through this massive life change, and it can feel quite lonely if you haven't shared the news with everybody yet. I also found it really hard that it felt like for me, life was kind of, my life was stopping by, you know, taking time to really look after myself and my body and think about someone else growing inside of me. Not, you know, I'm obviously not gonna go out and go for bottomless brunch and things like that. I felt very protective of my body, which made it harder for me to join in with my friends and family members. I didn't want people to get too close to my body, to my belly. I was really worried about people like accidentally like bumping into me if I was in a crowded place. I think I kind of unintentionally left myself feeling quite isolated because I was feeling that. So it's quite lonely. I felt very anxious, I felt very low, and I really just want to stress to everybody that just because you're usually like quite well mentally, emotionally, and just because you took medication before you were pregnant, I really just want to stress that no one is immune to hormones. Hormones affect everybody. It affects everybody differently, so please don't think that because your mental health is normally fine or good, that when you become pregnant it will continue that way. And if it doesn't continue to be good, it doesn't mean that you're going backwards, and it doesn't mean that you are like poorly again. I really do just want to stress that. And on the other hand, I also don't want to like instill fear to anybody that, you know, you're gonna be like, you're gonna have crap mental health basically when you're pregnant. It's not the case for everybody. But I just kind of keep telling myself that when the baby's here, everything's gonna be okay, because I'm gonna have you know, no time to maybe think about my own mental health or experience, like really kind of like be mindful of what my emotions are, because I'm just gonna be focusing on this human being. But I'm not naive and like to know that sometimes like baby arrives and actually like some people really do deteriorate. I am aware of that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get real for a minute and talk about that, because while I do know people that have had babies, I don't really hear people talking about it. And I think when I was going through my first trimester, I really would have liked to have been able to have had about other people's experiences with their mental health, and how it's so strange for so many reasons that things change. And I'm going to end on a slightly less heavy note. So I'll talk a bit about some of the physical changes that I've noticed with my body. So like again, like the first maybe couple of months or so of my pregnancy, I had quite bad acne, and my skin was like red in places. And I remember taking like a few selfies or like pictures with my friends or my partner and stuff during that time, and I just remember thinking that in photos, and when I looked in the mirror, I just, like in my face, I just feel like I looked unwell. So I definitely did not have that pregnancy glow that people talk about. I definitely noticed the pregnancy glow later on down the line, but for the first trimester there was no glow. It was just yeah, I just looked really horrible and ill. Yeah, and also I noticed that my skin was really dry. It actually still is quite a bit, but the skin on my body and on my face has been really dry, which is not a problem that I'm used to, because I've always been very oily and greasy, especially as a teenager. It's only been like the last couple of years that my skin's kind of settled down a bit more and become like more mature, but I definitely, like, if you knew me when I was a teenager, I always had a really shiny complexion just because of like how oily my skin used to be, and now I'm like moisturizing twice a day, but it's not all bad, because it's nice to do a bit of self-care, especially like I put bio oil on my belly every single night without fail, and sometimes like it needs a bit of moisturizer as well, but it's a nice kind of bonding opportunity with baby, so it's not all bad. Or something else as well is, I thought that when I became pregnant, like, so I mean, I don't want to brag, but I'm quite gifted in the boob department, and my boobs are quite big normally, but I thought when I got pregnant that they were just gonna like be these big watermelons, but it hasn't happened yet. Not that I've noticed anyway. Like, I'm still in the same bras at the moment and everything. Like, they haven't changed like in appearance or anything, or in size or weight, like nothing that I can notice. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I am happy about that. I can't lie, because if they got any bigger they will just look ridiculous, but maybe that's gonna come later on down the line, I don't know. Yeah, it probably will come down later on the line. I do plan to breastfeed. I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm not going to stress myself out about it if it doesn't work out, but yeah, I'm fine with how they are right now. So I think I've kind of captured everything from my first trimester that I wanted to talk about. I plan to make a few more videos very soon. I want to do a what I eat in a day of being pregnant. I want to do a baby haul video, and then at some point we can have a think about telling you what we are having, because we do know the gender of our baby, and we've known for quite a while. It's been really hard in this video not to say the gender, because saying like baby is just, it feels wrong. So it'd be nice to let you know the gender. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below what your experiences are, and maybe have a guess by my symptoms, like what you think I might be having. That would be fun. I hope to see you soon. Bye.